Welcome to this episode of Digital Supply Chain Institute Insights in Action. As we promised, we will keep on exploring the topic of AI, which has been a hot topic in many industries, but with the only focus related to supply chain transformation. We do see a lot of traction in this area, and in today's episodes and episodes coming, we will try also to tackle different touch points and segments of supply chain where we have practical insights and inputs that we can share with you, either from the experts like we have DS with us today, who have been researching in the segment and the area, or practitioners who have been building up the segments of the supply chain transformation within their operations. So today we'll focus on the AI and actually talent, an area where DS and Sarah have been doing research for last 2 months and actually having very interesting findings about where the industry is going and what's actually happening. So DS, welcome and thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me, Marko.
So in your article, DS, you point out that many organizations are investing in AI faster than they're developing actually the talent needed to use it effectively, right? So why do you think that leaders continue to view AI primarily as a technology initiative, and what are the risks of overlooking actually the workforce? That side of equation is super important and it doesn't work one without another.
It's a great question, Marko. As you see, everyone is rushing towards technology investment. Large companies, small companies, everybody is trying to automate, trying to look at the processes before them to automate. It's very easy because there's a budget, there's somebody to give a clearance, and then you order the technology and you have it in this. But most important aspect, according to my research, is that, workforce design or workforce what you call the reinforcement is also an important strategy along with technology advancement, because any workforce design takes a lot of time, effort. It requires cross-functional organizational help to modify and adjust the workforce for the new changes.
So that brings me to the next question. Actually, is one of the most interesting points in the article is that the AI may transform the managerial roles. People think that it will be only like, the repetitive tasks, but actually it will affect the managerial segment. So how do you see the role of mid managers evolving over the next 5 years, and what new skills will distinguish a successful leaders of human AI teams? Because I think it brings us more towards the orchestration now, and it's not will it be only technology or human. There will be a synergy in between the two. So how do you see it?
Thank you for this question. Currently, middle management is more focused on reporting and then coordination, and to some extent, some information processing. These are all being automated by AI. It's not that the job is moving, content is there, but the middle managers have a new role to play. It's built around judgment. For example, exceptional handling, or taking decisions, or overriding some decisions for AI agents. There are some of the examples where a middle management will have to be playing a greater role, and they need to be trained on these skills, actually. If you come to the skills part of it as a middle manager, three things stand out. One is the accountability. Second is the exceptional handling. Third is the trust, where he need to build a trust and learn to work along with AI agents moving forward.
So that brings me that you gave a great introduction for understanding now how increasing automation will actually and AI will actually affect the entry-level positions. Because if entry-level tasks are done by technologies now, how should organizations rethink early career development programs? Because nobody joins a company to stay at the same level, especially not at the entry level. So how they can ensure they are still building the next generation of supply chain leaders?
Yeah, it's another great question from you, Marko. If you look at traditionally, as you rightly pointed out, that lower level jobs are being automated. There is a fulfillment, price preparation, dispatch, or tracking the consignment, etc. And also, women are most of the our research says that women are concentrated in this area, while some statistics say that 40% of women are in supply chain, only 31% are in the leadership space. So given that scenario, how do you balance, how do you adjust this gender ratios? So to do that, early enablement programs are very important for an organization. It's always, as you're familiar, reskilling the existing staff is much easier and economical than hiring external staff. Currently, the AI talent is at very premium, so it becomes unaffordable for this. So the focus of the supply chain manager needs to be on how to reskill, how to improve the current talent to get into the new area of working. For example, trailblazers of DSCI, and there are other organization which is doing a similar type of a program. So these are the good examples of how early enablement is happening. And also organizations like Amazon are spending huge amount of money to reskill this existing staff.
Thank you very much, DS. And let's close up our conversation with one thing which you mentioned. You mentioned that you see a certain risk of having women in supply chain with the changes which we are seeing with AI, because that segment started evolving and now the technology is coming in. For sure, there are ways to resolve and absorb, and what specific actions should supply chain leaders take today to ensure that actually AI adoption expands the opportunity rather than reinforces existing talent gaps?
It's a very another interesting question from you, Marko. I see there are 4 clear actions a supply chain manager should do. One, assess the impact of AI in this organization, because it varies from organization to organization, the requirement of AI and the current workforce design. And then make adjustments and redesign the structure and the roles needed for this function. That's the first step. Second step is build capabilities at different levels, whether it is a analyst level or is a middle manager level or the senior level. Number 3, one has to be, we talked about middle managers already. How to build this strength of middle managers, how to make them understand the new skills required. We already talked about judgment skills, exceptional handling, and working with the AI agents at the same time. And fourth is to build a culture of AI in the company. Everybody needs to understand what AI can bring to the table rather than having the anxiety of, look, AI will replace me or something like that. So these are 4 steps I think are very important for adapting the AI in the organizations.
Dravida, thank you very much. I think all these insights have been very practical, very valuable. I know that you will be continuing the research in this area, especially about what companies are executing and doing by the end of this year. Definitely a talent segment in today's evolution of technology is very important, no matter of the industry, especially in supply chain. So I look forward reconnecting back with you once the research evolves into sides of what practically has been tried and how did it work or how it did not work and what were the learnings. So once again, congratulations to you and your team for moving this agenda forward. And I look forward connecting beginning of 2027 to see what was actually happening with the implementation.
Thank you very much, Marko. Thank you for the invitation to speak to you today. Wish you a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Dravida. This was Dravida Seetharam, expert of Digital Supply Chain Institute in the area of AI and talent. This was another episode, and we thank you for following us, and stay tuned for the next one.